The following program is rated MAL. It contains strong language and is intended only for mature audiences.
It's time to drop the
Green
hammer.
flag waving for the always exciting Sheldon Hutchfield. He'll bounce the right rear off the wall in turn 4. Lap 1 for Sheldon Hutchfield. Quick time!
Off turn 4. Quick time 10 0 3 0.
Second lap time for David is quick time 15 0 2 2.
Lap number 1 for Kyle Larson. Quick time! It's a 10-145.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of Quick Time, the podcast. We're doing things a little bit different tonight down in the race cave. Josh decided he wanted to try some video bullshit, so you're going to see our ugly fucking faces tonight, boys.
Yeah, I don't understand it because all three of us have a face for radio. I don't understand this video
we all
YouTube
three do?
stuff.
Yeah, and Josh, you are by far the ugliest fucking one here, so
that's
you're the one that
tough.
wanted to do the video.
That's tough. I mean, I put a hat on so then that way,
I
I
don't-
don't have the glare from my forehead.
None of us have much to brag about. So. Well, we're gonna give it a try.
There you go.
Let's give it a go. I mean, we've done a couple experimental episodes with YouTube. I guess it was probably more during COVID and Zoom, but we're gonna give this thing a try and see if any of the viewers want to partake in watching us instead of just listening to us.
Well, it's definitely something that it seems like a lot of podcasters are starting to do now. They're starting to move over to video. I don't know if it's just because it's a new thing, but yeah, it's going to be interesting.
That's putting it lightly because I don't think anybody's going to fucking watch this thing. We barely get people to listen to it, so
That is true.
That's exactly what I think.
I think we might be diluting the product a little bit, but we'll give it a go. We'll see what happens. It's been a while since we did one of these, boys. What have you been up to? Let's start with Brad, man. How's it been going? I know you've been doing some snow removal here lately with the Snowmageddon we got here at the old headquarters here in Lincoln, Nebraska.
Yeah, I don't know. Ken Shimmick said we only got about 4 inches, but man, I think
That's what he tells his wife.
right. I think we got more like 7 or 8, but yeah, we had some snow. We're going to get some more snow and bitter cold. I think Canada left the door open, and we're going to get hit pretty hard this weekend. I think like 5 or 6 below for highs on Saturday. So, but yeah, just normal life stuff, working, doing. I started a freaking country dance class on last Sunday.
What the hell?
My wife
What,
wants us to do it.
line dancing?
It's just country swinging. So, and here's the funny thing: we already forgot the first dance that we were taught. So
Brad wanted to do a different kind of swinging, if you know what I mean.
There you go.
I don't want to do any swinging. I hate dancing. There's not enough alcohol in town to get me to dance, and
You can't have none of that anyways,
now
bud.
that I'm not drinking, it's really hard to go out there for an hour every Sunday for 8 weeks to learn how to dance.
Doing that, down at Playmore?
No, it's some dance studio in the south end of town, but it's through Southeast Community College. So we're paying $50 a piece to learn how to frickin' dance.
I've heard
Hey.
of people do that for their weddings, not for, just for
Hey, as long as the
recreation.
wife is happy, that's all that matters.
That's
And is that something she
Amen.
wanted to do? Or was this your bright idea?
No, that's her idea.
Okay.
Ain't no way. No, it'll be fine. I mean, I gotta go in more open minded than I am right now because I'm in it for 8 weeks, so I've got to enjoy it. So it is what it is.
So what did you learn the first week?
I don't even know cha-cha and
1, 2, 3, 1, 2,
yeah,
3, 1, 2, 3.
One other one, and then just the country swing, and that was like the first couple steps of the country swing. I don't know.
Teaching how to Dougie a little bit. Teach me how to Dougie. Teach me how to
It's
Dougie.
country wing line swing.
It's
dance.
all the same thing. You seen that fat fuck jelly roll or pastry puff or whatever that thinks he's a rapper and now he's a country guy. It's all the
Country
same fucking
singer.
shit.
pretty much.
But yeah, that's just doing normal life stuff. Kind of missed doing this for a while, but there really wasn't a whole lot to talk about. And now we're going to try to fill in an hour and a half of bullshit.
Yeah, Josh, what have you been up to?
I've been busy. I mean, besides Michigan winning a national championship
Fucking cheaters.
Monday, come on now.
Goddamn cheaters.
Oh yeah, that's why I got the hat on.
They're already fucking going to take away your title. I heard
Whatever.
the NCAA is going to strip that shit and Harbaugh's going to have to quit. And
They better not, because he already served the punishment, and if they
More
thought
than
that,
the punishment.
yeah, and I think it was all bullshit anyway. I mean, they steal signs all the time.
It is what
Everybody
it is.
does.
But no, other than that, had
Michigan
great,
just more than others. I mean,
They just got
they got a
caught.
high pedigree of cheaters coming out of that program. You look at Tom Brady,
Yeah.
dang. He's just going after them all.
Charles Woodson.
How many other Michigan guys you know here?
That's about it. They all fucking suck.
No, other than that, I had a great time off. I enjoyed doing the holiday special. That was a lot of fun. I got a lot of comments on that. from
I got
people.
some comments on that too.
Let's hear
One
it.
of them from one of our sponsors.
What?
Don't fucking do that shit again.
Why?
Dan Taylor, man, he's like, don't let Josh do this shit no more.
Man, I thought it was hilarious.
I thought it was pretty cool.
One guy
I don't
did-
remember. What did you do to Dan that pissed him off?
Not me.
I probably said 305s and not race.
No,
series.
I went up to the library pub the other day, and
library.
it's a bar, Josh.
Oh, I thought you actually went to the library.
No, fuck. You think I know how to read?
He said library pub.
Yeah, library pub. Dan Taylor bartends up there every now and then. He's been asking for us to go up there, and well, Brad doesn't drink anymore, so that's going to be out of the question. So I figured I'd go up there, check the place out, and Dan's like, "Dude, what's up with the last podcast you guys did?" I'm like, "Which one?" He goes, "This holiday." I was like, "Oh, that's all." Josh goes, "Don't ever fucking put him in charge again."
Dang. I didn't think it was that bad. I got more of the comments of, boy, you guys talk a lot about Brad doing camping and what he does on the side than anything. And I go, well, yeah, I mean, me and Brandon usually get him when he's not here or if he's not here because he's usually doing something awesome and we're just, sitting here
Yeah,
watching
you
TV.
guys live vicariously through me.
Well, I don't know about the dancing part now, but
Yeah, no shit.
Hey, man, I'll take some dance classes. I don't care. Go out there, meet
There
some
you go.
ladies.
Brandon, you should do it.
But that seems like a couples type deal,
It
so I
is.
don't got the couple part. So
There were
ain't-
11
ain't-
couples in it, so
Ain't gonna be me right now.
Josh, I thought the holiday special was kind of cool. So
See, there you go. Brandon, how was your time off from the podcast?
From the podcast, it was great. I didn't have to see you two fucks.
There it is. I was waiting for that one.
It was perfect.
uh,
No, I just been busy with hockey, man. That's all I do. It's racing in the summer, hockey in the wintertime. So
So your hockey podcast, do you do that actually on a location?
we do it in the basement, just kind of like what we do here.
Oh, I thought you actually do it like at a bar or something like that.
No,
Dang, never mind.
not at all.
No. Also, on my time away, my dog had surgery, tore his ACL. That's been a lot of fun. So, other than that, yeah,
you have
I don't know about you guys.
you have a lot invested in that dog now.
He is a very expensive. He costs as much or more than my first car cost. So his value.
What was
in
your
that-
first car,
It was an S10 pickup truck.
Brad?
My first car
Yeah,
was my 71 Ford F-150 pickup.
I had a 1984 Ford Escort.
Ford Escort.
Nice.
When I told him I wanted a 30-year-old Escort, that was not what I had in mind.
Oh, ouch.
I know for me, if I had a dog and he needed an ACL surgery, I would pay for a $50 injection before I paid
No,
$3,000, $5,000.
Jeez.
You can always buy another dog for $200.
Oh, my mom was like, she's like, oh, so you're going to put him down? I go, no, we're not putting him down. He's 5 years old. To be honest,
So he's half dead. They only lived
His-
about
he
10.
lived a good life, man. He lived a good life.
his surgery is still cheaper than what some dogs cost.
Oh,
Like the really expensive ones.
not my dog. My dog, I bought 2 Goldens. They were $200 a piece. And if they would have gotten when one of them started to get sick, Doc, put him down.
Peter's gonna be calling fucking Brad here pretty soon.
We'll get another one. Loved them to death, and they were my best friend, but nah, they're not worth $3,000.
Friends are overrated, right?
Yeah.
Brandon, how much was your dog?
My dog was free because it came out of the mom.
And then they had more puppies, right? Or wait, was that
He
with
was
the?
one of the fucking puppies.
Oh, okay.
He came out of his mom.
I didn't.
Oh yeah,
quite
then
catch
he had
that.
more. Yeah, Josh.
My bad.
Fuck, dude. Holy shit, man. We're off to a rolling start on this
we're doing
episode.
Let's start over. Just kidding.
Rewind.
Rewind. Now we're on video, so it's gonna be You're gonna see my face go. What?
Yeah, you'll see what we see all the time, and you can see the dumbass looks we give Josh all the time.
No way. There's no bad looks.
I beg to differ.
All right, let's kick things off, man. Where do you want to start? A lot of news. Driver rosters have been kind of set in stone here a little bit. We had one announcement yesterday with Buddy Kofoid
Yep.
going to tackle the World Outlaws. Pretty much locked himself into that Rookie of the Year thing with all the other rookies. I don't think anybody has a has a snowball's chance in hell to catch Buddy Kofoid with that deal.
I agree.
Gosh. Bill Baylog's probably like, damn it.
Bill Baylog's a high limit guy.
What? Is he?
Isn't he? Or is he an outlaw? He's high limit.
He's an outlaw, isn't he, Brandon? I was right.
Can we start this podcast over?
Is he?
Yeah, he's running Outlaws.
Shit, I thought he was.
Yes. On the board.
I don't know. Look it up,
Anyway.
Josh.
That's what I was
Anyway,
doing right now.
so let's just go with the Outlaws. The lineup that we have with the Outlaws, are they at 10 or 11?
I think with Buddy coming on, they're at 12.
Do you just give Gravel the championship and then everybody else is fighting for second?
No, I think Macedo's going to be right there with Gravel.
I agree. It's going to be those two. But, I think Selzy and even Kofoid are going to have breakout years. They're gonna do some damage this year.
Yeah, definitely. No, you mentioned Selzy and Kofoid there. Another guy, Logan Schuhart, running the Outlaws. He's going to be right up there with the guys too, and he's made mass improvements every year he's been out on the tour. And when Sweet left, I think that's going to leave the door open for a couple of guys.
I hope he can put a whole season together. He gets hot, and then you don't hear from him for a little bit. Then he gets hot again. I hope Logan can put a whole season together and make it a 3-car battle for the. I mean, how cool would it be? You can't forget Shots either. But there's gonna be 5.
Yeah, we always seem to forget about him. He's
Yeah.
haven't had the best couple of years, but
them damn Fords are holding him back. But hopefully they get it figured out. So. But there's six quality cars for the World of Outlaws that all of them really could vie for the championship. I mean, there's some durability issues with the Toyota, but man, them some bitches are fast. So you gotta those 5 are and I think that Gravel is the leading candidate, but Macedo, hopefully they can get their crew members filled up and have a full group of crew members for that team. So they can keep up with the maintenance and everything. But I'm pretty excited about the World of Outlaw Championship Tour. It's going to have 6 quality cars, and there's some others that could make a little noise every now and then, and not Bill Rose.
So here's a question though: Do you believe that high limits and Outlaws? If you're going today to pick between, you can only pick one: Dirt Vision or Flow. You're basically picking Outlaws or high limit. Which one would you get?
I'd go with Flow just because there's so many different opportunities to watch racing on Flow as opposed to Dirt Vision. But gosh, if I had to choose one or the other, I think I'd donate plasma for a few weeks and then I could buy both of them because both of them you get your money's worth. It's racing all summer long on both channels.
That's true. I mean, I think the Outlaws, excuse me, is probably, it just doesn't seem to have the wow factor that the high limits has had as far as PR. But I still think the Outlaws, like you said, is going to be a very good series to watch. It's just not going to be what it was last year or the year before.
I don't know. You can ask me every day to choose which one you prefer, and every day I'm going to say I want them both. I want them both to succeed. I want them both to be exciting, and I'm not going to choose one or the other because they both got a lot of great qualities in the field of cars and the schedule and stuff. So I'm excited for both of them. I just hope there's room for 2 series in our landscape.
Oh, I definitely think there is. I mean, it's going to be. I think your average sprint car fan, I don't think they're going to be like, oh, it's not going to be a Ford Chevy type battle.
No,
it's going to be, I like fucking sprint cars. Sprint cars are fucking badass. So I want to go watch a sprint car race when they're in my neck of woods.
Well, it's no different than the midgets. The midgets got USAC and they got Extreme now. I mean, I'll watch both of them, and they both put on a good show. So
and Power Eye.
And Power Eye, right. I mean, so you have multiple different series that run it, but at the same time, it's going to be nice because the high limits guys can come out to the Outlaw stuff. So really, you're going to get to see the high limit guys actually probably more than you're going to see the Outlaws just because of the amount of races they're going to be able to run.
I think we're going to be surprised on how much crossover actually happens. I don't know.
I don't think there's going to be a lot of it.
I don't think there is either. There's going to be a few guys that'll get 5 or 6 races in, but so many people bitch and complain about having a race every weekend. Now that they're on the high limits and they get a few weekends off and stuff, I think there's going to be very little crossover. There's going to be some, but there's not going to be half of the high limit drivers hitting all the Outlaw shows that they possibly can. I think they're going to back off and they're going to get their 60 in and be happy with maybe 70 and call it good. And same with the Outlaws. They may get those 4 or 5 races, but how many of them did all 4 races last year?
I can't tell
few.
you. Yeah, very few
Very
did.
few.
mean, as we're talking driver rosters, if you want to run down the roster real quick, with the World of Outlaws, we mentioned Logan Schuchart, David Gravel, Zaire Foss is on that list. Josh's favorite, Bill Rose. Landon Crawley, running for Rookie of the Year. Donnie Schatz, Sheldon Hodgshield, Bill Baylock, World Outlaws.
You're right. He is.
Unfortunately, Josh was right on that one. Gio Selzy, Noah Gass, Carson Macedo, and we added Buddy Kofoid. I think you're probably going to be adding James McFadden as well.
I think you're going to add McFadden. I think it's just a matter of time before they make that announcement. Yeah.
So you don't think they'll split that stable into two series?
I think if that split was going to happen, it would have been last year when that penalty where
That's true.
McFadden kind of got screwed by the Outlaws there a little bit, and I would have, if he was going to make the switch, he would have probably dropped off to it right then and there and went and ran the high limit stuff.
Yeah, I think Dennis Roth has supported the Outlaws from day one, and he's just going to continue just because he's got loyalty to the Outlaws and nothing against high limits, but I think he's going to have 2 cars on the Outlaw Tour and both Toyotas and both very competitive. So I think that I think it's just a matter of time before they make that announcement. So I wonder what they're waiting on. I mean,
he's still racing in Australia. I don't know if that's holding up the stuff as far as sponsorships, but who knows?
I don't know. That Roth car is funded by one fucking place too, so it's Roth's money right there. I mean, they had the Toyota Motor Program going on, but majority of that money's coming from Roth and the.
And you can put your kid's name on the car. You can put different cattle companies on the car. It's all the same. It's all coming from the same pocket.
What does Roth own? I'm just curious. Do you either one of you guys know? Like, what is his? Where is his money?
Beef industry.
Yeah,
is it beef?
He's
I was wondering
packing
that.
plants, trucking.
Which is weird, being a California guy, and you think here in the Midwest is beef country, but Roth's making a pretty good living out in California. Slaughtering cows and
I'm sure.
packing up some steaks.
I don't know this for a fact, but I'm sure he's in real estate, and I think he's got.
His fingers in the rich guy stuff we would never fucking understand.
Just like Rudine, he's in the real estate development. You got Todd Queering. They're doing the same thing. They got their hand in so many different fires, and they're making money on all of them. So losing $1 million to fund a race car team is nothing to them guys.
Yeah, so let's flip the coin here and check out what is on the high limit driver roster. There's a lot of names on here, a lot of guys that I didn't see would jump on a full tour, and yet they have the quantity of numbers. I don't think they have as many big name drivers as the Outlaws do right now. I think it's pretty even, but I think the Outlaws might have the higher end slight advantage of the big name guys on that driver roster. So Brendan Crouch, Jacob Allen, Cap Henry is going to run the midweek races only. Spencer Baston, a guy that ran the Outlaws last year, flip sides, just signed. I should say just announced, but it was pretty much given that Tyler Courtney was going to be a high limit guy. Corey Eliason, Casey Kane, PPM, Justin Peck, Corey Day, running 2 different cars, the 14 BC, teaming up with Clausen Marshall there. And then he's also going to run with the Myers car in the midweek shows, I believe, which the Corey Day thing was a little bit of a surprise to me, considering he's still in high school. We figured he would probably run that next year when he's out of school, but he's going to jump.
He's a senior this year, or he's junior this year?
He announced that he's not going to race full time until he graduates. And but I guess they found a way to make it all work out.
Online school, man, just like these hockey players do. They don't go to school anymore. It's all online.
Absolutely.
I got Brent Marks, Rico Abreu, Zeb Wise, Connor Morrell, which I don't know too many of. He jumped on the high limit roster last year and fell off halfway through the season. So we'll see if he makes another full, which essentially would be his full season with the high limits. Brad Sweet, Chris Wyndham, Kyle Larson running the midweek shows. And I think the biggest surprise of any guy joining a series right now is Tanner Thorson, strapping that wing on top of the cars and then going wing racing.
He's a gasser, but he's got a steep learning curve. He's got a steep learning curve. So,
and a new team, like brand new owner to racing, from what I'm hearing. I mean, it's not a known person, but my thing with Tanner is it's kind of like, was it last year when he started doing sprint cars and it never panned out?
He's ran sprint cars his whole career.
But I mean, didn't he try to run one of the series, like the All-Stars or something like that, and he went like a couple races and then dropped off?
I think that, and it doesn't matter for anything, but you're going to see 4, 5, 6 guys drop off. There's no way they're going to all make all 55, 60 races around the high limit season. They're just the bottom 5 are just not going to make any money.
Yeah, with the touring series, I mean, they're good up to probably 12 to 15 cars.
Yeah.
Anything less than that, you're gonna have a hard time making money.
Yeah.
You got to be making all the shows, which ain't gonna happen. I mean, there's stout competition all throughout the country, so these local guys can make shows any given night of the week.
And all 20 don't get tow money.
No.
It's just like the top 14 or whatever get tow money. So, it's going to be tough for some of those guys to make it the whole season. And Tanner, he's a gasser, but he's got a steep learning curve, new tracks, wing, sprint car, new team. He's got a steep learning curve. But there's some other drivers on there that are going to struggle just as badly because they're just in over their head, in my opinion.
Well, to me, I think a lot of those guys are hoping that, maybe they start off strong so they have a better chance to get that money for the flow and the charter member stuff. But I think what I heard is it's only like 5 guys. So like the top 5 actually get it. So you have, let's say 20 cars, 15 guys aren't going to get that. So you can't tell me they're going to hang around.
I think the flow money is not going to happen. I mean, they're all going to be getting it in the membership, but the top 5 are only guaranteed that charter for next year.
Oh,
so but they're not going to get any benefits of that for 2 years, because my understanding is this coming year 24 you get 5 charters, 25 is 5 charters, and then those 10 teams make up the charter system for 26. So really, this is a 2-year investment on those high limit cars to try to get that charter. And my question is, nobody seems to know, or nobody's willing to share, how much money do they think these charter teams are going to be making? Because what flow is $150 for a year subscription. I
spent $120. Thank you very much.
That's for all the sporting events. How much of that cut is going to actually go to the sprint car teams? Divide that by 14. I just don't see each team making $1 million on this flow charter sponsorship. And there's a lot of skepticism out there. That's why some teams went to the Outlaws, because they're like, you can charter all you want, but we're not going to get much money, so we're not going to get much of a return on our investment. So somebody knows the numbers, Brad Sweet, Kyle Larson, Flow Racing, but I don't know that it's given knowledge to most people out there.
We've discussed it a little bit before, but I don't think Flow as a corporation is making a whole shit ton of money on your $150 subscription fee.
Right.
They're making money on the advertising revenue.
absolutely.
I mean, every time you turn on Flow, you're hit with an ad.
Yeah.
And it's halfway decent in racing, but I noticed in hockey that halfway through a game, in the middle of play, they'll cut to a fucking ad.
what?
Really?
Yeah, it like their whole back end system. I mean, there's so much shit on Flow that they can't have a director per se watching everything.
Yeah.
With your racing programs, yeah, you're gonna have your guys there in the trailers watching everything. A lot of stuff is just a camera from an arena, live streaming a game, so they don't actually know when there's breaks in the action. Like we're watching the Chili Bowl here right now, and you'll see when they're doing track prep, the announcers say, "Hey, we're gonna take a break," and then you're gonna see some commercials ran on Flow. Like, but in hockey, man, in the middle of the fucking game, you might get a commercial.
Ooh, that would be brutal, especially like it's a close game and you're.
Oh yeah,
like,
it fucking pisses me off.
Yeah, like a couple minutes left in the game, tied, and the guy is coming down, and boom, here's a tie.
You're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I just don't see. I mean, obviously, I'm just a fan, and I don't know any of the specifics, but I don't see teams making a buttload of money on these charters if all they have is money coming from the revenue streams from Flow Racing. So I don't know. I'm skeptical about it. I can understand why they're doing it, but and there's going to be tweaks throughout the learning curve for Brad and Kyle. So we'll see how it all plays out. I hope it does work out, because more money for the teams means more stability, and maybe more teams will spawn out of that. So
yeah, definitely. So why don't we take a quick break? I got to reset this camera, so I don't want to fuck up the video stuff on the first go around.
There you go.
So we'll take a quick break. We'll come back and let's dive into the Chili Bowl, because that's the biggest thing going on right now in auto racing.
Let's go.
Dirt Empire Magazine is the ultimate dirt track racing only magazine in the world, featuring interviews, opinions, event photos, tech, and 100% racing action. Each issue includes late models, modified, sprint cars, and more. Big event photos from the best photographers in the sport, and great one-on-one interviews with the top drivers as well as grassroots racers. Pick up a copy of Dirt Empire Magazine today at select Tractor Supply stores or other area retailers, or get your subscription today at dirtempiremagazine.com.
Hey guys, Dan Taylor with Tailored Computers and Repair. This time I'm talking laptop screen replacement. We've all made the mistake of dropping our laptop. Maybe one of our animals stepped on it. Maybe we set something heavy on top of it and we just didn't realize it was too heavy. And you go to turn that laptop screen on, there's a giant crack across it. That doesn't mean your laptop is completely worthless. In just a couple of days of turnaround, I can easily get your laptop screen replaced, and usually it's for a pretty reasonable price. Don't think your laptop is completely wasted just because you have a broken screen on it. Give me a call today, 402-659-5641, or shoot me an email, tailoredcomputersandrepair@gmail.com. I'd be glad to give you an estimate on how much it's going to cost to replace your laptop screen.
At Charter West Bank Mortgage Center, we know that it's more important now than ever to find a smart mortgage that fits your needs. We're locally owned, and Charter West Bank Mortgage Center is a leader in Nebraska mortgage lending for first-time home buyers and all types of loans. Our local mortgage team at Charter West is here to help. Give us a call. Charter West Bank Mortgage Center. Nebraska born, Nebraska owned, Nebraska values.
Charter West Bank, the power of the Eagle.
Equal housing lender.
All right, we are back here on QuickTime, the podcast. Brad's over here talking about big old titties on the break. So if you could only hear what we talk about as the music's playing.
That was off the air.
He didn't have his headphones on. That don't count.
I don't know about you, but I love me some big old titties.
Wow.
Joe Walsh's song. You ever hear Joe Walsh's song? I like big tits.
I should play that song.
You should.
He's going to search it up now.
I'm sure you can find it.
I could find it. You know, speaking of big old titties, you can see a lot of those down at the Chili Bowl going on right now. Back when my day when I used to go down there all the time, you know, got to hit up Cloud 9 afterwards. Hit the strip club.
I saw you had a post, an old post where you had a free drink or something.
Yeah.
I'm definitely using this next
Cloud
year.
9 girls used to run around handing out coupons for free beers afterwards. Man, I got a collection of those.
They had a booth right there at the Chili Bowl passing out coupons.
How far away is it from the Chili Bowl?
Not very far. I don't know, dude. Let me tell you. I don't remember a lot driving home from the Chili Bowl after the track because I've been hammered a few times down there at the Chili Bowl. I don't know how I ended up in the back of a Tulsa PD car before, but by the grace of God, I'm still here today, boys.
Yeah. There was one time we were at a biker bar after the races, and we decided to drive back to the hotel, and we drove past Cloud 9 3 times because we couldn't find our way back to the hotel.
You found the important part, though.
We didn't go in because
that's what you told your wife.
No, we didn't go in. But we were all the soberest drunk person was driving, and we drove around 3 times around Cloud 9 before we finally figured out where our hotel was.
I think it's Cloud 9 that did the legs and eggs, little breakfast buffet.
Oh, I
don't know if you trust food from the strip club, but
yeah, those were the days.
Yeah,
anyways, let's get back
Chili
to
Bowl's
racing.
Chili Bowl's all corporate right now. Josh doesn't know the after party stuff that goes down at the Chili Bowl.
The Weld after party.
Yes, Taylor Weld from Weld, son of Weld Wheels. Is that who it was? Yeah. Used to rent out a banquet room in a hotel, bring in 15 to 20 strippers from around the area, some of Tulsa's finest. And he had a good time.
They shipped them in from Kansas City.
Kansas City, yeah, all over the place, man. Taylor brought in some.
I only went once, and from my understanding, is the later it gets in the week, the nastier it got.
Oh, yeah.
How do you know this, Brad?
I said, from what I hear. I went one time, and it was conservative. It wasn't for as far as strippers go, but
the FLC parties, man. Fuck last call.
Yeah.
I thought you just went to Village Inn afterwards. You didn't go to
No, you go to Waffle House. You don't go to
Well,
Village
the
Inn.
Holloman crew, they're all freaking 90 fucking years old, so they can't handle the excitement of the Waffle House, so they got to go to a little calmer little place, the Village Inn. But they made the mistake of inviting Mike Peterson. And any take push truck Mike is not a calm fucking place.
Why is that?
He's a rowdy motherfucker. There's times down there. The first time I went to one of the FLC parties, ran into Jay Russell. Told me to tell him, you did not see me here drinking. I don't need to know. My dad didn't know I'm out here getting hammered. But we drank probably about 2 cases of beer that night. We were fucked up. Got hammered with Tim Schaefer.
Does he remember that?
Tim Schaefer's been hammered a few times, but me being the budding motorsports photographer that I thought I was cooler and shit that I'm hanging out with all those guys were my fucking heroes, man. So I'm going to these parties and hanging out. Now it's just another day. But back then, man, I thought it was cooler than shit.
Do you miss going to the Chili Bowl?
I love the Chili Bowl.
I miss it. I went like 4 years in a row, and I thought it was the best 4 days. At the time, it was 4 days of racing.
Right.
It was the best 4 days of racing all year.
I always say I will skip the Knoxville Nationals to go to the Chili Bowl.
And Saturday, you get there at 9 o'clock or whatever, and you're there all day. I had no problem with that. I can understand why a lot of people would, but I had no problem with that. Just watching midget races all day long, that was heaven. But
So, I mean, I like the Chili Bowl. I went to the Chili Bowl last year for the first time, and I don't know, Brandon. I think I'd go against you. I would definitely do the Nationals or the Chili Bowl, but I would prefer, and this is going to sound like, and I know you're going to give me.
You just look at the screen, man. You saw this dude pulling a wheel stand going across the finish line. You don't see that at the Nationals.
But I would rather, in all honesty, I would rather watch that at my house. Only because there's so much stuff going on at it that.
There's so much downtime you can enjoy. Going to the restroom and go mow your yard or scoop snow.
See, yeah, it's so much more fun. Yeah.
Go in the pits and hang out with all the drivers.
It's a long day. There's no question about that. If my wife told me you get either the Chili Bowl or Knoxville, I would take Knoxville.
That's where I'm different, man. I would go to Knoxville, not Knoxville, Chili Bowl every fucking time I can.
Well, speaking of the Chili Bowl, what do you think of Mr. Kyle Larson racing? Is it tomorrow? Tomorrow.
Everybody has a price, and apparently $20,000 is his price because
you mentioned that, and I threw the in our group chat that I don't think it's that. I think it's the fact that Chili Bowl is on Flow Racing, High Limits on Flow Racing. Flow Racing is putting out some money. They want Kyle Larson out there. But how cool is that?
I agree.
How cool is that Kyle Larson was like, "Hey Keith, give me a call when you got a minute." Hey bud, got any extra cars? Hold on, I got me a PJ private jet. I want to fly from Arizona, come race Chili Bowl, fly back, race
or to Mexico.
Is it New Mexico? Oh,
New
fuck,
Mexico.
who gives a shit? It's a fucking late model goddamn race. Who gives a fuck about those fender motherfuckers?
I want to know.
Except when they come to Eagle Raceway for the Lucas Oil late model nationals, it's gonna be fucking.
I've got a
fucking
different take on Kyle being on the Chili Bowl.
I'm curious if it's like mine. I think it was already pre-planned.
I don't think it was.
I don't really care.
Think so?
No.
I don't really care. My thing is, I absolutely love Kyle Larson. I think he's the best of the best. His career will go down in history, but I'm tired of watching him take all of our money to put into his already padded bank account. I want to see somebody like Logan Seavey do back-to-back. I want to see somebody get that $20,000 and take it home and really appreciate it. Kyle's got 2 golden drillers. He doesn't need any more. I'm probably in the minority here. I'm going to enjoy the hell of watching him race tomorrow night and hopefully Saturday. But you know, at the same time, if you win the Chili Bowl with Kyle Larson in the field, you won the damn Chili Bowl.
Yes.
And there's no asterisks by it. And so, but I'm getting a little tired of seeing Kyle Larson win all this money and take it away from the other teams. But if you want to be the best, you got to beat the best. Woo.
Woo!
So what's your take?
I would say I actually miss Rico more than I miss Larson, just because Rico's an entertainer. He has fun.
Larson has fun taking all your fucking money.
Well, there's that, but I don't know. I think the Larson thing was pre-planned.
You're a Rico fanboy, though.
I am. See, I got panel up on the wall.
What makes you think of as pre-planned? If they just
you're going to bring a backup. You're going to bring a backup car.
Yeah.
For Tanner Carrick to run.
The Race of Champions, IROC race.
Yeah, you'll run Cannon McIntosh's car the same night he's running. Why wouldn't you bring him a backup car? Because technically, they both were running that same night.
Let me tell you something about Tanner Carrick. His dad has a lot more money.
what I think is funny is KKM brought 11 cars to race, and he still had a spare.
That blew me
He
away.
he has more than one fucking spare. Let's be honest. There's a trailer park out back in the expo that probably has 3 or 4 more cars.
They brought 3 trailers of race cars and parts and everything you need to run a Chili Bowl for 10 days with 11 cars. That's unbelievable. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna have fun watching Kyle work because it's just amazing.
You think he can lock
does.
himself in?
Oh, I don't know why he wouldn't. Yeah,
You got to finish top 2.
yeah.
You think it will happen only because it's Kyle Larson, but if it doesn't, then you won't see him Saturday. From what I'm
Probably
hearing.
not.
Yeah,
Unless he qualifies like in the front part of the B, he might come back, but otherwise you won't see him.
I don't know
if
what
he doesn't.
time is. I don't know how long of a flight it is from New Mexico.
I thought he said it's 2 hours.
I don't know. I didn't.
But that's from on the plane, and you're taking off and landing.
Yeah,
That's not getting to the airport, getting through all that stuff.
they're gonna land a
private
helicopter.
jet.
They're gonna land a helicopter in the back of the Tulsa Expo Center.
Private jet, you don't need to go through security and all that bullshit.
No,
That's true.
You get off the car, walk in.
walk in like I'm here, motherfuckers.
They may quickly check your bag and then you go on.
They don't even do
plane.
that.
Well, in my experience with when I travel with the basketball team and stuff, they did check your bags and stuff, but it was like a not even close to the
Speaking,
amount of time.
never mind. I won't go into basketball. We'll dive into that basketball game here at the end of the show.
Close, absolutely. So, yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be cool to see if he can do the dirt double, but we'll see. So
Nothing will. Speaking of doubles, nothing will beat the Indiana double that Brian Clausen did.
yeah,
Running the Indiana 500 or Indianapolis 500, making the trip down to Kokomo and running Kokomo that night.
Yeah.
That
roughly an hour away.
yeah, that's fucking badass.
And they said it was bumper to bumper cars all the
Yeah.
way following him up there.
Yeah, Brian Clausen is one badass motherfucker.
I would love to have seen him hit those. What was it? 200. He was going for 200. 200 nights of racing in 1 year. That would have been so cool.
When he was already winning quite a bit that year, like he was like on the pace to do it too.
Yeah.
Speaking of Brian Clausen, though, how cool is it to see the dueling 63 back out there with
absolutely
with Cade Coons?
And pretty much the same paint scheme.
Looks exactly the same as when Brian won his last Chili Bowl.
Yep.
That's pretty cool.
Brought a tear to my eye when I was when he came out for practice, and Jordan's like, "What's the matter?" I go, "It's Brian's car right there." She's like, "Who's Brian?" I go, "Look behind the couch." So I got this big canvas print of Brian Clausen right behind the couch, man.
Yeah.
Now, here, do you think Clausen would be better than Larson now? Like if they were to go head to head?
It's hard to say. At this point,
It's like
Brian's-
comparing Mario Andretti and AJ Foyt.
Yeah.
It's
True.
At this point, Kyle's in his prime. Brian would still be pretty damn good, but I mean, I don't know. It's hard to say that. I mean, it's all an opinion, and opinions are like assholes. Everybody's got one,
There
and
it
some
is.
of them stink more than others. So I don't know. That's just a debate for another time, I think.
So who's your guys' pick for the Chili Bowl? Who are you picking to win the whole thing?
From what I've seen so far, Logan Seavey.
Logan Stevie's going to be really hard to beat. Justin Grant, Mr. Friday Night.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Buddy last night,
Buddy.
he made a snoozer of last night's race.
He made it look easy.
Yeah. But he started from the pole too. But the Davis kid, that's impressive for him to finish right behind him and
Well, he won his prelim night last year.
right, absolutely.
Did he ever go on to do anything last year?
He's going to be on the national tour this year.
Okay,
He-
that's what I was.
he
I
announced, so.
knew something. You got to figure something was going to happen for him. He's proven with these midgets, at least at Chili Bowl, that he can run it. Because he was a 305 driver, a race saver guy, right, Brandon? And that was the whole thing you gave us grief about. Was I know who he is? 'Cause
Yeah, ran the old 305 sprint cars out there.
he is a pretty comical guy, though.
He's the best looking guy in the expo center. Just
yeah.
ask him.
That's what he said.
Just ask him.
That is very true. I will say Flo does a great job with Chili Bowl and just the background stuff and just stuff to watch throughout the day before the race even starts. It's really cool to kind of see a lot of the backdrop. I know you've seen it too, is the dirt tracker. He's like, I hope they have a camera on Kyle Larson if he does make, the Saturday show, like start to finish in both races type thing. I think that would be really cool to see a behind the scenes of that for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Buddy's going to be my guy to win it all. I think this is going to be his year to do it. And if Larson's there, I still think he'll beat Larson.
Yeah, I mean, Larson's if he gets locked in, he's definitely going to be a contender. But it's going to be hard to beat that 39 car.
Yeah,
he looked good. He looked good in the race and Champions
smooth.
race. And anytime Kevin Swindell puts a midget on the Tulsa Expo Center, it's going to be one fast fucking race car.
Yeah.
What'd you think of the new teching stuff?
It's all good, I think.
I don't give a shit.
Yeah, I mean,
I ain't cheating.
Do you think that's going to happen on the national tours of this? We're going to see stuff like this happen?
I think off and on. I don't think they can do it every race, but I think they'll hit the bigger races. And
I mean, they were already checking for Apple Watches and smartwatches down at the Million. And
yeah,
I mean, if you watch the Eldora Million thing, the documentary Flo did, you kind of see a glimpse of that.
yeah,
That's true.
I think it's going to happen. I mean, these teams are creative, and I would have never thought to do a smartwatch or.
I don't know how you can fucking look at it.
Well, I don't know how you can see it either, but
My butthole be so puckered up driving around that racetrack that I couldn't even imagine. Let me see what Keith Coons has sent me what I need to do.
well, you do it under caution, so that's one thing.
Yeah, I still fucking hit shit on under caution. Don't underestimate these driving skills I have. All right.
Somebody said that jokingly that they tape a Android phone underneath their seat, and then they put an earpiece in, and so they can through the phone they can get.
I mean, I can
messages.
see that happening.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
but at the same time,
They could have like the Houston Astros where they had the thing taped to the body of a buzzer. 2 means high, 1 means low. I mean, really.
you're just giving them all sorts of new ways to cheat.
See, there you go. They
There's
need to
always
check their
ways.
body.
If you're not cheating, you're not trying hard enough, is what they always say. Some people just happen to get caught from time to time. So
Like in Michigan.
Damn it.
Yeah.
I knew that was in it. But yeah. You know what would have been crazy is if Larson announced, I'm coming, I'm going to race Thursday, and then all of a sudden Christopher Bell walks over.
I saw
got a car,
Wikipedia.
let's do this.
Wikipedia tweeted out earlier that the surprise entries are not done yet.
Oh, really?
I don't know
man.
exactly what that means, but some fucking dumbass goes, "Oh yeah, Tyler Courtney's going to be back." I was like, he was fucking there on Sunday, running practice tonight. Where the fuck are you guys?
Ouch. Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Not everybody lives on Twitter and Facebook like we do, so.
I try not to, man. It's a fucking cesspool.
I've been so busy at work, I haven't had time to look at any of this stuff lately. I mean, I sit on it, and when I get home, I'll look through some stuff in the end of the night. But during the day, I've been so busy, I haven't been able to keep up with stuff throughout the day.
I started clearing out friends on my Facebook list, man. I went from 1,500 down to like 700 right now. And
Really?
I'm not done yet.
Hey, I'm still on there. Yes.
You think?
Maybe I'm not. I should check.
I don't know.
Anyway.
Brad's on there twice. I think I have a Brad Brown, and I have an IB racing season. So
I can't figure out how to delete that. I have tried and tried.
which one do I need to delete?
When it was my birthday, everybody was on IB Racing's racing season wishing me happy birthday.
Happy birthday!
I haven't done anything on that since like 2018.
Well, but do you have it turned off where you can't write on your page? Because I know people that have that where they
No,
don't.
he forgot the password.
I don't
You can't
know
get
the
logged in.
Oh, that's why.
Well, I can't. I cannot figure out how to get on there and delete the damn page. I want to delete
Here's
it.
your password: big old titty 6969.
I don't think so.
He's like, nope.
Oh, brother.
I heart 305s.
Yeah, 305s.
Sorry,
305s
race
rule.
savers. My bad.
That's where I need to play James's role, and so fucking 305.
Yeah, did he ever say anything about that?
He did.
What did he say?
Said we're a bunch of fucking assholes.
There it is.
Oh, so are we gonna talk racing anymore, or are we just gonna fuck around?
Well, so no.
Go ahead. What do you got on your list?
So I had bold predictions. I sent a text out to you guys and said, let's have one bold prediction for both the high limit season coming up and the outlaw season coming up. Bold prediction. It has to be something off the wall, not David Gravel is going to win 10 features. Well, yeah, I think that's going to happen.
All right. What's your bold prediction?
My bold prediction for the World of Outlaws, Buddy Kofoy wins Rookie of the Year and wins the series.
When's the championship?
The championship.
Oh.
Sure, that's Mountain Dew you're drinking over there, bud?
Did you spike my Mountain Dew?
I must have, because there's no fucking way in hell he's going to win
that
the
is happening.
championship.
Why wouldn't it?
David Gravel, Carson Macedo,
You can beat
Logan
those
Schuchart.
guys.
Consistently.
From time to time.
We're going to find out.
Yeah.
He's more consistent than Sheldon.
You're right. That is a bold. prediction.
See? Bold prediction. That's my bold prediction for the Outlaws. What's your guys's?
Jeez, I'd have to think about it. I don't have. Sheldon's going to run consistent throughout the whole year.
That's a miracle. That's not a bold. That's not a bold statement right there.
Bill Rose finishes in the top 5.
Don't even get me started on Bill Rose. You texted us. Did you
He's
know
racing
Bill
the
Rose is
midget.
racing the Chili Bowl? Do we care?
Like I said, Josh is Bill Rose's biggest fucking fan.
What?
I get that he's a good guy. I completely get that, but I've already said my piece on this for a couple times. He needs to stay in Ohio and race.
Well, like Jeremy Elliott said, bold prediction for the World of Outlaws. He was just talking about it in his last podcast. He thinks Gio Selly is going to win 6 features.
I could see that.
That's
easy.
I don't think that's a
I don't even
bold
think that's,
prediction.
going
That's
on
a
a
bold
limb.
prediction?
No, I don't even think that's going on a limb.
Really?
No, absolutely not. He's good. They're half the competition's on high limits now.
I don't have a bold prediction for the season, but next 5 years, High Limits is going to acquire the World of Outlaws. It's going to be one series again.
You think so? And it'll change to be the High Limits?
Yeah, so you can't get rid of the World Outlaw name. It'll still be World Outlaws, but it will be acquired by the High Limit crew.
That's a bold prediction.
Yeah.
Brad.
I don't have a bold prediction.
So do you have a bold prediction for the High Limits besides your...
Half the field's going to drop off halfway through the season.
I want to see the boot car finish top 3 in the high limits. I think that guy Justin Peck is a stud. If he I don't know how many more hard hits he can take, because when he crashes, he freaking crashes. I hope they can keep the car together. He stays on all fours, and I really like how exciting of a driver he is. I hope the 13 car will finish top 3, because I think that he's got what it takes to be a dominant driver if he can just avoid those badass crashes that he's on.
You say you want him to be a top 3 in the final point standings. Who's the 2 guys above him?
I think Sweet, without a doubt, Sweet is number 1. Other than that, that's tough to say.
So, I mean, you got guys like Rico.
Marks,
you got
Rico.
Courtney.
I think you probably got to go Rico. Courtney, he's pretty consistent, but he drops off occasionally every now and then.
Got Zeb Wise.
Zeb Wise, yeah. I
There's
think
a lot of tough cars that the 13's going to got to beat.
I think for the most part, High Limits is going to have 5, 6, 7 cars that are at the top, just like the Outlaws, and then there's going to be a big step off between the rest of the field. So I think those 5 or 6 cars are going to be what we're going to be hearing about all year long. The Courtney, the Zeb Wise, the Peck, Brad Sweet. I'm trying to think of another one.
Rico.
Yeah, Rico. Yeah, you can't forget Rico. And of course Kyle during the week. So
got Basin on there. I don't think Basin's going to be a championship contender, but
he'll get 4 or 5. But yeah, they got to get consistent. They got to get consistently fast, and they're not right now. So, in my opinion,
my bold prediction for the High Limits: Kyle Larson will finish no higher than 3rd in the overall standings in the weekday racing series.
3rd.
You fucking drunk?
Yeah. How do you
Brad Sweet?
How do you come up with
and Rico will both beat him.
Well, that's very possible.
Beat him.
That's very possible.
Kyle Larson will beat them.
No, he will not.
He will beat them.
All right. Well, come on.
He will.
I told you my prediction.
That's one.
That is actually for both series.
That's unfair. Yeah. All right, Brad.
But that's
there's no real bold things that was going to happen this year. You're going to have half the guys drop off the fucking High Limit series because they're not going to be making any fucking money. They might go join the World Outlaws, but they're not going to fucking make any money there because they're so far behind in points.
I think Peck is going to be top 3. He's going to finish in the money on the High Limit points.
Well, here we'll change it. What one guy do you think will not finish the season with their series?
Connor Morrell.
name several.
Dang it.
Casey Kane.
Yeah. That could happen.
Bill Rose, he hasn't finished the season in 2 or 3 years.
His car did, though.
Landon Crawley.
Landon Crawley.
There might be a chance. I mean, the kid's 15 years old.
Yeah. No, Noah will finish just because he's determined, but I don't know how Noah keeps going.
I don't see, other than maybe Landon Crawley, just because he's so young, getting beat up on the road, because he's going to get his ass kicked.
Yeah.
No doubt about it.
It's going to be hard.
I mean, look at guys like Brian Brown when he was young and went on that tour. He got his ass kicked.
It's going to be hard paying the bills with less than $1,000 a night.
So I don't think you're going to see guys drop off the World Outlaw Tour with the exception of maybe him.
Yeah.
I hope it doesn't happen.
I agree.
But there's going to be a ton of guys that drop off the High Limit Tour.
Yeah, I think so. There's going to be 4, 5, or 6 guys off the High Limit Tour because they're just not going to be able to foot the bill. So
I see.
All right.
I'll give you that.
Let's take another quick break. We'll come back. Got a surprise for you boys.
Hello, and welcome to the Amazing Pizza Machine, Omaha's award-winning play and buffet experience. With over 60,000 square feet of indoor food and fun. First, feast your eyes on this. Our amazing buffet is packed full of delicious choices and is super convenient for families, groups, and folks of all ages. Yes, pizza is our middle name, but our unlimited buffet has so much more. And for the 21 and older club, we serve beer and wine available by the glass. Our amazing arcade is one of the largest in the Midwest and is something for all ages, with over 170 of the latest and greatest video and arcade games, as well as rides and attractions. Voted Omaha's best family entertainment center and best place for birthday parties, the Amazing Pizza Machine is the perfect destination for any celebration, and we hope to see you soon.
Join Stars photographer BA and Off-Ice official Gene Cotter for Thunderstruck, the unofficial Lincoln Stars podcast, where we talk with your favorite Lincoln Stars players, coaches, and alumni.
Oh, it was a great night, yeah. Beat them in their own rink just before the buzzer. It was something special for sure.
I don't want to call it a surprise because I knew that there was a great, rich history for hockey here in Lincoln, but I was really happy to see the fans come back in droves and be such a great supporter for us.
I might have to throw my roommate under the bus.
Uh-oh.
I think Sato doesn't have the best tape jobs. He actually just spray painted all his sticks white on the bottom of them. I think he's copying some NHLer he's looking up to, but I don't know. I think it's dusty. I think a lot of guys think it's sick, though.
To let them in penalty minutes back before they handed out those little 10-minute wussy misconducts on everything with 265. Thunderstruck the podcast all season long right here on the Anchor app or wherever you find your favorite podcast.
This is the Dump and Chase podcast.
We're trying to model ourselves after what you guys have done a little bit.
Voice of the Phantoms and friend of the show, Mr. Matt Lipsack.
I am along for the ride and perhaps provide some modicum of adult supervision here, although really that's a lost cause at this point.
We welcome back Phantoms president Andrew Goldman. It went smoother than it did with Matt.
I want that added. I want that added.
What are you shaking your head now for?
I'm agreeing with you because he has absolutely killed us this year.
Well, so far, finger guns has meant Sam shut up. So
Yeah, that's not helping. I'm trying to process. Okay.
check out the Dump and Chase podcast every Wednesday on Western Reserve Radio, YouTube, or wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts.
Listen, that was frightening.
All right, we are back here on QuickTime, the podcast. Man, I told you guys I had a surprise for you. Chili Bowl, we've been talking about it. It's on the TVs right now. Friday night, seems to be Nebraska night. Every Nebraska driver's qualifying Friday night.
Seems like it.
So we're going to check in with one of those boys right now.
Seriously?
Really? Who?
Hello.
Stu Snyder, you're live here on QuickTime, the podcast. Man, what's going down out there in the Tulsa Expo Center?
Hey, what's going on, guys? No, they're just getting qualifiers rolling right now.
Qualifiers rolling right now. You guys, what, 8 cars down there in the Kevin Ramey stable? You guys got anybody running tonight?
Yeah, we've got 7, 8, including Shaylee's car down here in the pits with us also. So last night was a little hectic. 2 cars tonight, not so bad. 1 car, and we did a little track laps with mine, trying to figure out why it wouldn't run on practice, and now it is. So no, it's going a lot better now.
It wasn't the driver having issues at practice tonight. It's been a while since he's been in one of those
He's
midgets.
getting too excited.
No, you just stand on it and just hold on like hell.
There you go.
I joke that it's like grabbing a hold of a bull's nutsack and just riding it for 16 seconds.
That's all you need to do, man. That's all you need to do. Lap there at the Expo Center, man. Friday night, though, you qualify Friday night. Seems to be Nebraska night out there. It seems like every Nebraska driver is qualifying Friday night, man. What do you got to do to get yourself in the best position out there to make that A main on Friday night?
Well, I think, first it starts with a decent draw to where you're not really necessarily on the front row. You're just in the first couple rows, and you can get up through there and run the top 2 or win the thing. And then that'll set you up decently in the qualifier, and then just go forward. I mean, every time you hit the track, you've got to go forward. And if you start on the front, you've got to stay in the front. And I think, with these Ramco guys giving me this opportunity and the experience that they have, with the experience that I got, setting up cars and whatnot and driving, I think that they're going to have a really good car underneath of me. And all the results this week so far have been really good. So they know what they're doing.
Have you had enough laps in the Chili Bowl this year to be comfortable so far, or is it still trying to figure things out to get comfortable?
Well, I mean, the biggest thing is just getting in the car and getting the fit of where, these things are a lot smaller cockpit-wise than what we've got with the sprint cars, and really just getting comfortable that way is probably the biggest thing, because you use your feet a ton. It's not like a wing car where you just lock her down and use the brake pedal a little bit and just go. But no, it really wasn't running too right on Sunday in practice, and we still made good laps. I mean, I never really got past, and it was okay. And the car felt really good, better than what I've normally felt on a practice night.
So,
we kind of figured some things out. Now I actually just got out of my suit. I went and rolled down with the D main, and they just, they push you off. And of course you get to make about 70 foot worth of throttle, and it sounded light years better. Jumped up on the thing, and it went like it was supposed to. So we think we've got that gremlin solved, and we can go into Friday night with a little bit of confidence and see how it goes.
So how much is it of what David Gravel said is driving a midget, you're driving on that right rear, and a sprint car, you're on the left rear? Explain how that's different.
Well, I think it's just the wing. The only way to get forward bite with a car that don't have a wing is to put the biggest tire, on the ground and try and plant as much weight as you can there. So these things they drive off the right rear, and you literally got to be on the edge of disaster every lap, basically, to be going forward and be fast, from the thing wanting the high side, or then it picks the front end up down the straightaway. And especially here with the gear that you got in the car, and it's mostly, it's juiced up. Lately, in the last 2 nights, it's built a pretty tall cushion to where you can get yourself in trouble, or you can use it to help you. You can get into things to where you bury it in there and it'll actually stall the motor out, and you got to get, pushed back off. So you don't want to do that. But, and with the wing car is just the downforce just has so much to do with it being on the left rear and being on the rear tires the whole way around the track. I don't remember the number right off the top of my head of how much square footage per, downforce that those create, but it's an astronomical amount. I know that.
Well, I'm more intrigued with the organization of trying to figure out how to put together, 4 or 5 teams and get the maintenance schedule done and everything. Are you responsible for your own car and then you help out when you can, or how does all of you guys stay organized to where everything gets done that needs to be done, and without somebody overlooking something and whatever? I mean, how do you guys manage putting all these teams out on the track and making sure the maintenance schedule is done with every one of them?
Well, it's a lot of work for sure. And then the Ramco guys, they've got a bunch of people with them, and Kevin and Taylor, they got a ton of experience and know like we do what needs to be done. And I jump in. I've been working on them all week too. Whichever car goes that night, I jump in and help them. And when we get done, when that car's done at the end of the night, then we tear it down and they do the maintenance and we clean everything, and that way it's ready to go the next time it has to hit the track on Saturday night, so we don't have to worry about it. But no, it's just everybody kind of has a job that they do, and Kevin asks everybody, "Hey, is it good? Is it good?" And yep. And then you just go on down the line and roll it down the ramp, roll the next one out there, and it's a lot easier when there's only one car running like tonight. But I'm sure practice was kind of hectic because there was all of us running, and Kaylee was running, and I was running, and then all the other guys were going as well. So Saturday might get a little hectic, but hopefully we're all kind of spread out through the afternoon to the evening, because you don't want to put your suit on before. You don't want to put your suit on at 8 o'clock when you get here. The goal is past 4 o'clock. That's when you want to be putting your suit on, because then you got a shot.
Yeah, if you're eating breakfast with your suit on, you had a bad week.
Yeah, we joked about it already. If I'm putting my suit on at 9 o'clock, I'm gonna just mix a drink, have a breakfast burrito, and help these guys. And same thing with Kaylee. That was our whole goal coming down here. Was, all right, we don't want you putting your suit on before 2 or 3, so let's try and get you as comfortable as we can right out of the gate. And everything on practice day went well, so we'll see what happens.
Well, you answered my question there about what your goals were going down to the Chili Bowl for your first time in a while. But as a veteran guy of the Chili Bowl, it's not all about the racing. There's the after parties, there's the nightlife at Tulsa, there's everything going on in the pits. One thing that we know with the Ramco team is the Jambo barbecue, man. Have you had any of that? What's the barbecue situation like for you guys right now?
Every day.
Every day.
Man, it is amazing. Seriously, I know Jambo's on the side of my car, and he's the reason I have this ride, and I'm, promote, right? But I'm telling you, Jambo barbecue pits, they don't make none of our smokers at home, even Brad's, even mine, like they don't hold a candle.
Easy killer.
Oh, they don't. I mean, I've had some really good stuff off of mine, and they don't hold a candle to this. And today was brisket. The other day was pulled pork. I mean, there's no comparison.
Shit,
and they do. They eat. We all get all the cars were ready to go on Sunday, and about noon, we all sit down. We all eat as a team. We have lunch. We talk. We chat. We get an idea, and have an amazing meal, and then get right back to work.
You keep talking like that, you might get my ass out to the Race Saver Nationals so I can mooch some.
That's what I was. I was just about to say that, Brad.
I was asking them today. I was like, all right, well, you guys gave us the hospitality. We'll give you the hospitality when you guys come back up there. And he said, no, don't worry. We'll bring our own barbecue.
Oh, shit.
Save it for the professionals.
They pull it behind the truck. and Jambo does a bunch of, they do a bunch of, tournaments and cook-off tournaments and stuff. And it's crazy. But yeah, no, it's on a whole new level with these guys when it comes to the barbecue. And I just hope that we got a good run tomorrow night with Shaylee, and then we got a good run with me on Friday night. Hopefully we're both sitting pretty good on Saturday.
So I was kind of wondering how did the whole midget deal come together for this? Because it just seemed like it was like, boom, Stu's racing the Chili Bowl. And I'm like, that's crazy. That came out of nowhere. Stu never said a word about it.
Yeah. I literally knew maybe a month ago, I think, on a Sunday. Back up a little bit, Chris Helgett, Shaylee's husband, sent me a photo of a motor and said, hey, we want to go down and run the Chili Bowl, and we want you to be a part of this deal because, we don't know anything about the midget stuff. And she had ran it before, way back when, and like 6 or 7 years ago or whatnot. And I said, no, we don't have time to build a car in 3 months. We need to buy a whole car. We don't need to buy a motor. And, these things just aren't like as cookie cutter as a sprint car is as far as getting parts and getting things put together. And I started calling some people that I knew when I lived in Cali and got us hooked up with a guy in Illinois that was pretty much on a sellout. He wanted out and they were doing something else in life. And we went up there and looked at it and I said, yeah, this is some nice stuff. Let's do it. So we were already coming down to do that deal. And, I talk to Kevin and Taylor, Courtney all the time. And we, normally just jokes back and forth. And my phone rings on a Sunday. And I looked at the wife. We were actually leaving the grocery store. And I thought, well, that's kind of weird. Why is he calling me on a Sunday So I picked up, of course, and he's like, hey, me and Jambo are sitting down here talking about who we're going to put in this other car, and your name's been on the list for a couple of years, but we've got an opportunity now to put you in one, and we want you to come down and drive the thing. And I just here, let's go. Well, I'm already going to be there anyways. So I asked, you guys got enough room to put another car over there in the stable, and they did. Made my life a little easier, a little less steps going from car to car, but it worked out pretty good. And they're just a great group of guys, and everybody's just they're an amazing family, amazing people, and they gave me a shot, and now we're gonna see if we can go make the most out of it.
Now the real question is, how'd you get that past the wife?
There it is.
Well, the non-wing thing really wasn't that big of a deal. It was more of now we're not going to Mexico. I said, well, you've never been to the Chili Bowl. She ran.
How the fuck has she never been to the Chili Bowl?
She's never been to the Chili Bowl.
Holy
she ran the
shit!
shootout and then went home, and I haven't driven one since we got together. 2015 was the last year I did it. And she was like, well, I've never been, I guess. Let's just get, well, and I told her that it was going to be 65 and sunny. I said, I know it's not going to be super warm, but it's, it's 65 and sunny, and it's the Chili Bowl. And we haven't hit 65 yet.
It's all right. You're indoors, man.
She's loving it.
And you ain't got snow.
Yeah, we're indoors. We got to hang out with Simpson Racing Products this morning and picked up some of the kids' safety stuff that they needed, and got to do, the PR with Desiree and whatnot. And that's the other deal that's cool about this down here is everybody's here. Anybody who's anybody is at this place. So if you want to do any type of networking with new products or, new people or anything, this is the place where you kind of do it. You might, set yourself up for the next year or find a new partner or whatnot. And the guys with Pulse Tear-Off Company, they've got a sweet little tool that goes on the side of the helmet on the visor that helps the tear-offs from, flapping back where you get a hold of them. He walked over today, sat down, started talking with Kendall and with Shaylee, and now we have them all on our helmets. So do a little promotion for them and try and sell some stuff. And, so that's how this place goes. And it's really cool. Yeah, she's probably missing Mexico a little bit, but Kevin's having a little bit of fun with her with a little bit of moonshine and some of her vodka drinks that she'd normally have at Mexico. So it's working out pretty well.
I was going to say, they have Coronas down in
we
Tulsa,
have less
so.
snow. We don't have any snow. You guys have all the snow
Lucky.
right now. So, yeah, I told Chris, I said, well, we'll worry about how we're going to get this thing unloaded when we get home because we ain't got to worry about it right now.
You make us feel really loved, by the way. You're saying anybody who's anybody's down at the Chili Bowl right now. Well, we're fucking sitting here in Josh's basement like a bunch of fucking morons.
With what, almost a foot of snow on the ground? Like, we needed to set up the QuickTime podcast on the back of his liftgate on the trailer and have it right here.
Eat barbecue.
Stu, I know you remember this. You mentioned, having the podcast down there doing it live. I know you remember when Jack Slash did the Jack Slash show live down there at the Chili Bowl, man. Those were fucking good times.
Yeah, they're a lot of fun, and I know I can get you guys on the back of this liftgate, 12 foot off the ground, and let's do a podcast. Hell, they love the hell out of it. well, they got ladders.
They got ladders. Oh yeah.
Do you really trust Josh on a ladder?
Hey, I've only fell once.
Well, yeah. As long as we get him on the tailgate and he sits down, he'll be okay.
Kind of a different question here, but you mentioned Shaylee Bate a couple times, or Shaylee Helgoth a couple times. How's things going for her? Is she comfortable with the midget?
We were good right out of the gate. The main thing is just teaching her, getting her to get the thing turned in before she gets to the curb, on the top. But it went really well. Our whole goal was roll it back to the trailer every night. Where we finish is where we finish. Let's have some fun and get you some seat time in a really, really nice car. And then, maybe next year, when we come back, you're going to have a little bit more seat time. And we've kind of decided too that when these guys come to town or when they're close to us, we need to go try and run some with them and just laps. I mean, these things they're an animal. They really are. You've got to be in them, 80 to 90 times a year to be on top of your game when you show up, especially at this place. I mean, you got 300, 80 some entries.
Yeah, I think.
And I mean, you got 80 rookies, and everybody else that's pretty much in the building has won in anything they've, any sort of car that they were in, they've won in, or they won a championship. And this isn't no cakewalk for nobody.
All right, Stu, I want to thank you for jumping on with us. Before I let you go, though, you've been there for a couple days now. I know that there's always some crazy shit that you see at the Chili Bowl. Johnny Murdoch, one of them, with his crazy contraptions that he brings down the Chili Bowl.
Oh, yeah.
What's the craziest thing you've seen there so far?
I think there haven't really been anything super, super crazy. I mean, Johnny Murdoch's not in the building yet. I think he runs Friday night with me, and he's not even here. There's no car yet, so that might be crazy to see. But no, the T-shirt cannon has been shut down. Firecrackers, little pop snaps have been shut down. So they're trying to keep a little bit of the craziness kind of corralled probably until Saturday or until Friday night. But I don't know. Probably the funnest thing we've seen yet is the mini bike going down the middle of the lane after the races were over, and he probably had too many vodka sunrises or whatever and dumped the thing and went flying over the handlebars.
Bring out the red flag.
Yeah, he had a red flag for sure, right, basically at the Keith Coons trailer. So his pride's probably hurt more than his body is. But no, it's been fun. It's we're hoping for a good showing for the Nebraska guys and gals, and we'll see what happens.
Well, sounds good. I want to thank you for jumping on with us. I know a short notice, kind of surprised the boys there a little bit.
Yeah.
And, good luck on Friday.
It's always a good chance, or it's always a good time when I get to get on the whole podcast with you guys, talk a little racing. And I mean, hell, I'm at the Chili Bowl. I told the wife, I was like, I got to do a podcast. She's like, what? Right now? I was like, yeah, right now. I got to go.
I got to go.
Ringing, I got to go. I'm going to the lounge. She's like, all right.
All right, man. Well, I'll let you.
We're having a blast, and we're going to hopefully, get up on the wheel on Friday night. Let's go.
Sounds good. I'll let you get back to the racing. Good luck on Friday night. We'll be rooting you on here from snowy Lincoln.
Heck yeah.
Awesome. Sounds good. We'll see you guys Monday.
Appreciate it, Stu.
Thanks, Stu.
Thank you.
Stu Snyder, boys.
Look at that.
Always a good friend of the podcast. He does a good job with these interviews.
I knew we had to get somebody down there. It's either going to be Stu or Tad, because I obviously I have both their numbers, and I know Don Drow Jr. wouldn't come on the show. So,
but Tad, they might be at CVS Pharmacy at this time.
They might be getting
their pills,
getting a prescription. So
getting their evening nap in before they have to go to bed.
Yeah, definitely. Anyways, let's take a quick break, and we'll actually wrap up the show this time, boys.
Uh-oh.
The slow computer should not be a part of your daily grind. You may be thinking it's time for a new computer, but it may actually not be. A hard drive upgrade from Taylor Computers and Repair could be just what your computer needs. I know computer lingo can be pretty confusing at times, but let me put it to you this way. You're running your race car at I-80 Speedway when it's geared for Eagle Raceway. It's not that you need a new race car or a new computer at that, it's that you just need to re-gear it. That's where a hard drive upgrade comes into effect. Windows 10 was simply not designed to run on old-style hard drives, so getting a new solid-state drive will drastically speed up your computer. The best part is, all of your files and settings are going to be exactly how you left them when you get your computer back. Give me a call today, 402-659-5641, or find me on Facebook, Tailored Computers and Repair.
Race night just got better with MRP Fantasy Racing on My Race Pass app. Make your picks for hundreds of events each race night and become the ultimate fantasy racing champion. Challenge your friends and play along with thousands of others. You can even earn attendance points for playing at each event. Download My Race Pass app on Google Play and app stores. Subscribe to the All Access plan today. My Race Pass, the ultimate racing resource.
Get ready to feel the thunder as the Malvern Bank 360 Sprint Cars invade America's home track, Eagle Raceway, for the Stuart Alley Memorial on Sunday, September 10th, presented by Tyler Perry Enterprises. See Nebraska's best 360 sprint car drivers like Stu Snyder, Jack Dover, Trevor Grossenbacher, and many more as they take on the high banks of Eagle Raceway for the first time since 2019 as they battle it out for over $6,000. Also on the card, the Malvern Bank Super Late Models. It's the Stuart Alley Memorial at Eagle Raceway, Sunday, September 10th. Be there.
Yeah, this is Logan Seavey, driver of the number 57 in the USAC NOS Energy Drink National Midget Series, and you're listening to the QuickTime Podcast.
right, we are back here on QuickTime, the podcast. Boys, let's wrap this shindig up. I know we mentioned it a little bit when Brad was talking about basketball. How the fuck did Nebraska beat the number 1 team in the country?
They dominated them the whole game. There was never close. They beat them by like 16 points. It was never close. We just, from what I understand, we couldn't miss a 3. And they just struggled throughout the night.
Well, I'm sure if you shut down their big man, because they got that that center that's really good, and it's like if you shut him down, I'm sure you probably shut their team
I saw the Facebook post. We beat number 1. I'm like, fucking women's basketball is their game. I was like, I had no fucking clue that the men's basketball team was even halfway remotely decent, and let alone beating the number 1 team. And Purdue being the number 1 team, normally see teams like North Carolina and Duke at the top of the standings, but fuck Purdue.
Now Kansas. Because Houston lost too. But yeah, I mean, we're having a good season, especially for Nebraska basketball. We're like 12-4 or whatever. We're pretty in that ballpark.
Well, not giving up on a coach.
Yeah.
I mean, he's had some tough seasons, and they've stuck with him, and he's showing that.
I won't get Brad in trouble with the last coach he worked with.
Did you ever work with Danny Nee?
Oh, as a student
he was
trainer.
on one of the local shows things I was listening to, and I was like, I remember him and his chip commercials and stuff like that.
Asshole still owes me $25. I was supposed to work a basketball camp for him. I was supposed to get paid $50 for it. Only one kid got hurt, so he gave me $25 and said that's all.
Fuck that! It's probably like $425 now with interest, right?
Yeah, it's unbelievable. But yeah, so he gave me a T-shirt.
And as a student trainer, man, you need that $25.
Absolutely, I do. I drove my motorcycle from back home to do this, and I mean, fortunately, that didn't cost very much. But still, your time and effort, and you had to work the camp. And he said, "Here's $25. That's all it's worth." And so I bitched, and then he gave me a T-shirt too.
Fuck it.
That was worth $25 too.
I get the T-shirt deal, man. I get T-shirt fucking. I want a photo for my T-shirt. I'll give you a T-shirt. That T-shirt ain't gonna do me shit. It ain't gonna pay my bills.
Don't pay rent or for food.
And then in the meantime, he made thousands off of his camp.
No shit. Fuck that.
So.
Fuck Danny Nee.
I did it. It was $225 for a week.
Yeah.
So yeah, there was a ton of kids in that camp. Yeah. I guess I see why you have a grudge against Danny Nee.
Nebraska basketball. We're back.
So you got basketball's coming back. Volleyball has been dominant. Is the football team? They got the number 1 quarterback guy now, Raiola. Is that going to make a difference?
It sounds promising, but I'll wait and see when it actually happens. But our wrestling team takes on Iowa on Friday. Number 2 Iowa versus number 6 Nebraska. So that'll be a sellout crowd. That'll be an amazing event.
When is that?
Friday. 6:30.
Okay. No hockey game. I hate when I have to go. There's nothing worse. Rolling into the icebox and seeing the parking lot full with these Nebraska sports fucks, because the Nebraska sports people don't know how to fucking park cars. And I hate dealing with these assholes. So thank God it's on Friday, because the Stars are up in Omaha on Friday night taking on the Lancers. And I got to deal with it.
Is that a rivalry game?
Yeah.
So who's going to win?
It's Lincoln Omaha, dude. Of course it's a fucking rivalry game.
Who has the better team?
Oh, well, they're both shitty.
They're both bad.
They're both shitty fucking teams, but Omaha's real shitty. They're shitty. Then there's Omaha shitty.
It seems like the Stars are starting to win a few games.
Yeah, the Stars ever since the Thanksgiving break, the Stars have kind of righted the ship a little bit. So,
anything changed since then? Like what?
Just figured out how to fucking win a game. Sometimes it's all about just confidence.
Yeah. That's true in any sport for sure. But yeah.
All right. Anything else before we wrap things up, boys? I know we're going to be sitting here watching Chili Bowl all week long.
Go Sammy.
Where? The fucking retirement home?
It doesn't matter. He's racing tonight. We're not.
That is true.
I got my
beat us there.
I got my Sammy T-shirt. I got my 5-time Chili Bowl champion sweatshirt.
You got your TMC hat on.
TMC hat.
You got probably your Sammy Swindell cars.
And his little one. He has little ones too.
But I know as much as anybody that it's probably time for him to set sail in his little pontoon boat and enjoy life, because racing is kind of passing him up now.
Boy, I have to say, when we talked about doing the video thing, Brad was like, I got a face for radio and all that stuff. And then he just walked in with Sammy. It was like number 1 Sammy fan was here. And it was like, what the heck?
You got to see my house.
You got to see my house.
It's all Sammy Swindell all the time there at the IB Racing household.
Absolutely.
So, anyways, we'll check everybody out next time here on QuickTime, the podcast. Thanks for joining us, boys and girls.
Later.
See ya.